Hello, happy Monday, and welcome to episode 15 of If You Only Knew. And I am Carla Webb. I am your host today. And unfortunately, my guest, Marsha Mills, is not feeling well. And I got a text this morning saying she got up in the night not feeling well and was going to have to. So we're going to reschedule her for today, and I can't wait to interview her, but unfortunately that's going to have to wait for today. But I'm still here, and we have some things to talk about. And hit share, invite people in on this if you would, and so that they can find out a little bit of about healthy relationships and if they want to grow a little bit on their spiritual journey, invite them in, and we will get started. So as I said, I'm your host, Carla Webb. I am a certified Christian life coach, and I do coaching in all areas of life that you feel stuck and have issues moving forward. But my specialty is helping women in particular understand hi, Catherine, good morning. Helping women understand the cycle of toxic relationships and how to end that cycle, and then how to create healthy relationships and what do healthy relationships look like. And I also help guide people on their spiritual journeys and growing deeper within their relationship with Christ, and what does that look like. So that's what I do. But today I wanted to talk to you about, do you really know what love is? So when I work with women who are in toxic or abusive relationships, it usually boils down to the end result is they say, but I love him. I love him. I can't help it, but I love him. And so I challenge them, do you really know what love is? Or if they say, well, I know that he does these things and I know he acts this way, but down deep inside, I know he loves me. I know he loves me. And so I think we really need to take a look at, well, then do you really know what love is? What is love? And as a Christian life coach and Christian relationship and spiritual coach, where do I go to find out what love is? Well, I'm going to go to the Bible. And most of us at our weddings had 1 Corinthians chapter 13 read at our wedding. And it tells us what love is. What is biblical love? What are the standards that God has set forth for our marriage and for our relationships? And so I go through, and when they say, well, I love him, or I know he loves me, then I grab my Bible and I say, okay, well then let's understand what love is, and let's make a checklist, and you tell me whether you meet the criteria, or your spouse or boyfriend or whoever you're in a relationship with meets the criteria. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and let's see if we know what love is. So starting with verse 4, it says, love is patient. So if you're in a toxic or abusive relationship, and so that is, criteria, one of the criteria is love is patient. And so I asked them, well, is he patient? Is he patient with you? Is he patient with your children? Is he patient with his coworkers and people that he comes in contact? Would you describe your partner as a patient person? Because love is patient and love is kind. So are they kind? Are they kind to you? And this is, I get those, they start, well, he can be. Well, we can all be a lot of things for a short period of time. But when you're talking about someone's core values and who they are as a human being, would you describe them as someone who is patient and kind? Yes or no? That's what you have to think about. This is what you have to measure this against. Love is patient, love is kind, it is not jealous. Are they jealous? Do they get jealous of you spending time with other people? Are they accusatory of you? You know, who are you talking to? Who's calling you? Who's that text from? You know, if you go out with your friends, who are you meeting? You know, and so are they jealous? Because love is not jealous, and love does not brag, and it is not arrogant. So do they go around bragging? Are they arrogant? Are they self-centered? Because that's not a characteristic of love. It does not act unbecomingly. Okay. So how is their behavior? Do they get angry? Are they punching holes in the wall? Have they grabbed you or put their hands on you? Do they yell and scream or drive recklessly? You know, that's acting unbecomingly. How do they behave? What is their behavior like? Are you embarrassed to be around them in public? Do you go to a restaurant and they're always a person that's going to have a problem with their food or act, so I'm not saying that those things in particular are necessarily abusive, but when we're talking about love and what love looks like, these are the things you need to take into consideration. It does not seek its own. Are you or they self-centered? Is it all about you? You know, someone who is no longer in my life, it was as if they were at the center of everything and the whole world had to revolve around them. And so that is seeking your own. And love is not provoked and is not provoking. So if someone is constantly trying to provoke you into anger or to cut you down and make you feel bad about yourself, or is easily provoked or is easily angered, that's not love. That is not a characteristic of love. I remember the times where people within this family they were always just like cutting each other down and poking and prodding and everything. And it's all in good fun. Well, who's having fun? Who's having fun here? I don't see anybody having fun. I see a lot of people getting mad and getting hurt and getting angry. And so provoking people under the guise of, it's just fun. We're just joking with you. Well, jokes are funny, and that's not funny. It does not take account of wrongdoing. And so are they keeping, or are you? I mean, this is not just about the other person. This is taking inventory of yourself also. Do you keep a laundry list? Like, you did this, you did that, or do they do that against you? Do you know that all things you do and say can and will be held against you? Is it like you're, getting under arrest? Everything you say or do can and will be used against you. Are they keeping a list of all of your wrongdoing? And do they go back and do they bring those up over and over and over again? Or do you? This is self-examination. Do you keep a laundry list? It does not rejoice in unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. So are they, they rejoices in the truth. So whenever something that is a good character value is whenever, none of us like to have our flaws pointed out. However, we are not perfect and we are flawed human beings. And whenever someone if someone in love brings that to you and points that out to you so that you can grow and learn from that, can you receive that? Can they receive that and rejoice in that truth? Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never fails. And so whenever people say, I know that they don't treat me very well. I know that they get angry. I know that they've done some really bad things, but deep down, I believe they love me. I challenge you to either go get your Bible. Hopefully you have one. And if you don't, I'm pretty sure you have the internet. Google 1 Corinthians chapter 13 or love, So, you know, whenever you say I love them or they love me, then hold it up against that mirror of what is love? What is love? And so, reading from the Message version, it just says it a little bit differently, but it's a little more, and sometimes in plain language, it says love never gives up. Love cares more for others than for self. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. That wondering eye, the grass is always greener on the other side. Love doesn't want what it doesn't have. Love doesn't strut, doesn't have a swelled head, doesn't force itself on others. That is a major one. Love doesn't force itself on others. It isn't always me first. It doesn't fly off the handle. Love doesn't keep score of the sins of others. Love doesn't revel when others grovel. Oh, have you ever been in a relationship where people make you beg? They just make you beg. Well, they don't make you beg. I mean, you have a choice. Where you just grovel. I was watching this show. You know, that's one of the reasons I cannot watch The Bachelor. I mean, I tried to watch it for like 3 seconds on the very first season, and I just couldn't take the like, pick me, please, I beg you, pick me. And I remember that episode of Grey's Anatomy. Do you remember whenever Meredith was like, pick me, choose me? I was like, no, stop, quit groveling. And so if someone is making you grovel, that's not love. Love takes pleasure in the flowering of truth. It puts up with anything. That takes explanation. Trust God always looks for the best. Does your partner always look for the best in you? And do you look for the best in your partner? Never looks back, but keeps going to the end. And so, you know, like I said, the biggest thing I hear is this love word, but I love them, or I know they love me. Debbie, some things I see, I do feels awful, but wow, amazing to look at this. Yes, you know, and this, like I said, this is self-examination also. It's not always about the other person. We have to take a look at ourselves, and are we being loving? Do we exude love? And do we really know what love is? And it is. It's about self-reflection. It's about being the person that you know God has called you to be, and we can find that in His Word. So I hope this was helpful to you today. To really think about whenever you start thinking, well, I know, you know what, but I love them or they love me. Do you really know what love is? What is the definition of love? Do you know godly love? And if you want help with that, if you need help with that, please contact me. I do a free 30-minute consultation. So if coaching and relationship coaching or spiritual coaching, growing deeper in your faith, and learning how to have really healthy relationships, if that's something that you're longing for, click the book now. If you'll go up to the top of my Facebook page and click book now, that will take you to my take you to my scheduler, and you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me, and we'll just talk. We'll just talk and see where you're at and if coaching is right for you. And if it is, then we can move forward. And if it's not, then I just, you know, pray a blessing over you and send you on your way. And if you come back to me, then you do. And if you don't, you don't. You know, I put all those things in God's hand. I don't force anybody or put pressure on anybody to do anything that they don't feel like is right for them. So please, you know, take advantage of that 30-minute consultation. I would love to talk with you, just to have a conversation and be able to pray with you. That would hopefully that be a blessing to you, and I know it would be a blessing to me. So if you think there's someone out there that needs to know what love is and really take a look and see if they know what love is, will you please share this? And that would, let's get the word out. Let's spread the love. Let's spread the joy. Let's spread the peace of Christ, and let's help people grow stronger and deeper and richer into their faith and their walk with God, and into healthy relationships. So, hey, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be much more active this week. Last week, I knew everybody was on spring break, and so I kind of took advantage of that too. And but I will be on here much more this week, so be sure to tune in. And I look forward to talking to you. Feel free to send me your questions, and feel free to book that free consultation with me today. All right? Know that God loves you. Know that I love you. And you have a fabulous day. Enjoy the sunshine. Hope it's shining where you are.